Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Let me get the link to this stream, let you guys know that I'm streaming here. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna drop this in the Discord real quick. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to do this morning, since I promised you guys some charts, is I wanted to start and use tradie ticks to go over and see if we can find some inside bars that we can play today. So the first tool I'm going to use is called their Scanny tool, which you can see up here in the top right of my screen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to enter the minimum volume of 3 million. And then I'm going to come down here under scanner symbols and I'm going to go to in outside days and we are going to look for a inside day. So, and if we look at the list that comes up here, we are going to sort by volume, highest to lowest. So we have Baba, XELA, KO, Snow, GDX, TME. So let's start out by looking at these charts and see if we have any upside or downside potential on them. So we're going to look at Baba first. If TradingView wants to load. Huge gap up overnight. So gap up from about 93 to 97. That's about a $4 move. So if we come over here and we look at the daily time frame, let me remove these drawings and collapse this pane. We are going to draw the high of the inside bar and then the low of the inside bar. The inside bars on my charts are represented as a yellow candle. Then we're going to switch back over here to the 15-minute. And if we look, we've already broken out of that inside bar range. So I'm still going to take my Fibonacci here and draw it from the low to the high. And if we look, we almost have a perfect 100% extension from the low to the high from Friday's price action. So that right there should show you guys just the power of fibs, that why would it go exactly to the 100% and then pull back up here. So we can say Baba under 97. And let's look at our chain here. Baba under 97, we could look to do the 95 puts. So I'm going to go ahead and type this in the chat for you guys. Expiration is 6/3. And we will use this to determine our price targets. $96.40. $95.80. And we'll go with 95 even. Gonna post that there. So another one we could look at would be XELA. Oops. Look at the daily here. I don't like the consolidation range it's got going on. I don't really like this chart very much. It's been in a huge downtrend. So we'll move to the next, KO. Looks like it has some nice potential in either way. Let's see, how did we do over, how are we doing in pre-market? I don't really care for this chart either, looking at it now. Snow. What is up with the lag this morning? I'm not really caring for this either. So another one that I noticed was Target, which is not on this list. Looking at the daily time frame, we're approaching this huge gap up zone, and the price action is sitting right at the 8 EMA. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this out. We're going to do the high of the candle from Friday and the low. Switch back to the 15-minute. Then we're going to draw our Fibonacci from that low to the high. And as a safe bet, I'm going to use the 10% extension. So we'll be looking for target over 167.50. And we would be looking at the 170 calls. And we have huge upside potential. I mean, look at that gap. It's just huge. So I'm going to keep this one on high watch. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to set an alert for over 167.50, and we're going to look at the 170 calls on this name. Keep you guys posted on that. I mean, that's just a huge gap down. Now let's look at SPY, XPS, and QQQ. So SPY on the daily, if we draw a trend line, we broke out of our downtrend here and we started to move back up. If the bulls can retain this upward momentum, that'll be a different story. Powell and Biden are supposed to be meeting later today. We'll have to see exactly what happens. I know Yellen is also supposed to be there. So let's look at SPY. We had a little bit of a gap up after close on Friday, and then we gap back down this morning. Right now, the price on the 5-minute time frame is sitting around the 200 MA. So with SPY, and if we look at QQQ, they're basically mimicking each other. If we look at the daily here as well, we can see that we had a downtrend. We broke out of the downtrend. Bulls need to maintain this uptrend or we will continue back down. For these two, I am going to be watching the market net flow tool, and this is built into the Tgt dashboard. It is also available through our Discord bots in the channel Tgt bot. You can query the bot and get the market net flow. It is a great way of determining market sentiment, and I use this to trade Tesla, SPX, and QQQ. So SPX's chart is exactly the same as well. We were in this downtrend. We broke out of the downtrend. Now bulls need to maintain control or we could see new lows. So for these, I'm not really going to give any price targets until the market opens and picks a direction. I'm going to wait about 15 minutes, let the net flow tell me exactly what's going on and how the options contracts are flowing into the market. JD wants me, or Focus Investing wants me to look at JD. So JD, also another Chinese name, huge gap up. We gapped up from about 53 to 57, about a $4 move. So this could be a good downside play as well. Thanks for pointing this out. So I'm going to mark this here. We'll call this about 57. So JD under 57. It's got some weird strike prices. I like this name for potential downside, but looking at the liquidity on the volume and the open interest of these contracts, I don't really like it so much. There's not a lot of volume or open interest here, and your spreads are pretty wide. You're going about 5 cents on most of them. The 56.76 strike has a bid of 50 cents and an ask of 58, so you got an 8-cent spread in between there. That's not really ideal for getting good fills and getting in and getting out fast. That's why I like to stick to SPY, QQQ, SPX, because you know when you try to get in and when you try to get out, there's so much volume in those contracts, you're typically going to get filled. Does anybody else have any other tickers we want to look at? I'm going to go back to Target here. So if we switch to the 15-minute, come back in time. So we do have a little bit of resistance here at 169.74. Let's see which Fibonacci extension that lines up with. That almost lines up perfectly with the 61.8. So if we do break above the 167.50, be looking to start taking some profit at the 61.8 extension based off of yesterday's or Friday's low to high fib drawing. So PayPal and IWM. So we switch to the daily on PayPal. So PayPal has just been really beaten up lately. Right now, to the upside, we got some room to move to the upside here. If you notice, the 8 EMA crossed over, had a bullish crossover above the 13 MA on the daily time frame. Your green line here, the 8 EMA crossed over the 13 MA, which is entailing a short-term bullish trend, or it could be a long-term trend identifier on the higher time frames. So let's draw this out. So if we plot the high and we plot the low, and we come back over here to the 15-minute, we draw our fib. Let's look at it from the 1 hour time frame. So we've got this huge candle here. So we've got a little bit of resistance here at around 86.50, and then after 86.50 we've kind of got some clear skies for a minute all the way up into the 90 area. So I'm going to set an alert on this as well. above 86, we can look at I'd go with the 88 calls. So we'll set an alert above 86. And we can go ahead and I will send some price targets for this. So PayPal over 86, we're looking at the $88 calls. Expiration is June 3rd. Price targets would be 86.50, 87.20, 87.75, and 88.30. And stop loss on these guys, I'm going to try my best this week on the account challenge to stick to a negative 25% on all plays. To try to get this challenge going. My first landmark on this challenge was to double the account, which I have done in 8 days. Now my next accomplishment on it will be to get the account balance above 5,000. And then from there, 10,000, 15,000, all the way up to 25. And like I said, I want to try to get this challenge done within less than 60 days. So right now, I'm about a week ahead of schedule. I need to keep this momentum up. Friday, I really let myself down. I was up about $500, and I ended up over trading. I had sold everything, and I traded myself right back to down $300 on the day. So that didn't end very well. So there's PayPal for you. I'm going to go ahead and post this chart as well. You want me to look at IWM? So if we come out here to the daily on IWM, it's the same story as SPY and QQQ. We were in this nice downtrend here. We broke out of the downtrend, and you just had the 8 EMA cross above the 13 MA here, which is indicate a bullish trend to the upside. So now, if we draw it out for you guys, we're going to draw the high and the low of the last candle from Friday. Then we're going to come back over here to the 15-minute. We're going to draw our fib. We've got some resistance at the 188 area. So my entry on this would be above 188.25. So entry would be about here. And if you look, we have a lot of room to the upside here from this huge sell-off. With no real resistance up until about the 200 MA, which could be a potential for a good upside play. So I'm going to set an alert for this above 188.25, and this alert pops off, I will let you guys know. And I will also post the levels for this into the chat. So above 188.25. If we go about 3 price targets out to the 50%, 189.80. So we could go with potentially the 190 calls. I'm going to go ahead and set that up and send you guys these levels. So we're looking for a break here. Let's change this to 188.30. Massive upside potential. So above 188.30, 190 calls. and AMC, which is an ape's world. Beautiful chart. I mean, it's crazy what the apes can do when they get a hold of something. So looking at this chart from the daily time frame, when in doubt, zoom out. We're in this nice downtrend. We broke out of the downtrend. If we zoom in here, if you look right here, you can see that the 8 EMA has crossed over the 13 MA, indicating a trend reversal to the upside, a bullish trend reversal. So now we need to hold this level and stay above. So we're going to mark the high and the low. Let me get rid of this circle. We had a nice little gap up, but currently selling off. We draw our fib, and just like on Baba, our fib extension went all the way to the 100%. Then we wicked back down. There was some selling pressure from the algos. The price action wicked back down, and it's pulling back to the 61.8. So here's your levels on AMC. Personally, if the options flow for AMC or GME is bullish or bearish all day and the flow mimics the price action, then I will usually play these names. I played GameStop one day last week and had some really good returns on it. But then the next day, the IV on the contracts was so high that it wasn't even worth it. So I'm probably going to call it here. Eat some breakfast, guys. The stream wasn't exactly the format that I wanted to do it in. It was just something I put together quick. If you have any questions, please drop them in the options chat. If you have any friends that want to invite them to the Discord, please do so. I've got about 15 more member slots before the Discord will go to a paid Discord. But anyone that is already in there will be in there for free. You will have the OG's role, and it'll be free for life. I am still deciding on a price. The Tgt bots by themselves run about $200 a month. So you're getting to use those for free. And I'm still trying to decide on a price to charge for the alerts as well as the Tgt bots access. Check out the Twitter. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. I'd really appreciate it, guys. There will be a Inside Bar video coming later this week, as well as the 8 EMA, 13 MA strategy that I use day to day as well. Thank you, guys.